Let's talk to Jack Duffin from UKIP. He was elected a councillor for the very first time for Stanford East and Corringham Town. He has a majority of 496. Very good morning to you, Jack. You must be pretty pleased with yourself.
Good morning. Absolutely over the moon. It was a fantastic result last night for me personally, but for the UKIP group as a wider being.
Now, you've not been a councillor or any sort of politician before?
No, first time I've ever been elected.
May I ask, it's a little rude, I know, but what sort of
24.
age are you? Thank you very much. So young, enthusiastic and wanting to make a difference. How will UKIP do this?
If we've done it by delivering for people. We are the party that delivers on casework.
Yeah.
Whereas...
Well, hang on, Jack. You've been elected. You haven't done anything yet. So what are you going to do now? You're an elected representative of the people. What are you going to do to improve their lives?
No, but if you look, we have had our councillors delivering. We've done 1,000 bits of casework as a party in Thurrock in the past year alone. You'd be surprised if you hit double digits when you're talking to the other parties. And no, we're going to keep it simple. The things we've promised is to start fixing the potholes, start cleaning up the litter in our borough, and fix the broken housing repair system we've got in the borough. We haven't been promising the world. We've been promising things we can deliver and things we're confident we can get addressed in the next 12 months.
Why do you think those things haven't been delivered by the councillors before?
Well, because Labour and the Tories have completely lost touch. They've taken their seats for granted for ages. Many of these seats they've seen as safe wards. They've not even bothered really campaigning in before. We've come along, we've pushed them to the brink, and people were desperate for change because, quite frankly, they couldn't even name their councillor. Some of them don't even know which parties they belong to.
Do you think you got people out to vote for you, Jack, that don't normally vote in elections or not?
Oh, yeah, I spoke to many people that don't usually vote, haven't voted for ages, and were coming out to vote because there's now a party on the ballot paper that represents them. And that is something that Thurrock hasn't had in a long time.
And what were the main issues? What were people talking to you about? What were they discussing when you knocked? Presumably you knocked on a lot of doors.
Yeah, I knocked up my ward and knocked in several other wards. Potholes was a massive one, but it was about the council. It's local issues, and that's what was driving people to UKIP, and us in particular here. There was no mention of the EU or anything on our literature and leaflets. We were focused purely on local issues, and we delivered.
And when you get ensconced now into the council, what is going to be the first thing that you will do as a councillor?
First thing I'll do as a councillor? Well, it's working on finding out who's going to be running the council. If we look at the results, UKIP got 39% of the vote last night. That's over 10% higher than the Tory party. And it's the third year on the bounce we've become the largest party. So it's about time we look forward to leading. Labour are in just a complete mess. John Kent in elections is basically a specialist in failure, to quote Jose Mourinho. And the Tory party are just infighting. They're absolutely at war with each other. They were moaning and shouting at each other last night at the count. And there's no way they can lead, let alone run a group, let alone run the whole borough. So there is only UKIP left to move forward and represent the people of Thurrock.
So I'll be talking to John Kent and I'll put some of those points to him a little bit later on. You don't think John Kent will be staying on then as leader of Thurrock Council?
Well, it'd be a disgrace if he even has the cheek to believe he can stay on. 3 years on the bounce, people have voted for John Kent to go, and it's about time he did the decent thing and left as leader. You can't be polling 7% less, and that's a 3% increase on our vote in Thurrock. People are sick of John Kent and Thurrock Labour.
Well, we'll put those points to John Kent a little bit later on. Jack, once again, congratulations. And maybe in a few years' time, we'll be talking to you about what you've achieved or not, as the case may be.
I look forward to it. Thanks a lot.
Jack Duffin from UKIP, who's 24, elected for the first time as a councillor with a majority of 496. Pretty good, 496.